That's why the ranged hero and the gyro did a little bit better than a lot of us expected. But Invoker is not that at all. The Cold Snap EMP, if he goes for the Quas Wex, he still has not decided. Yes, he's going to go for the Quas Wex. Just leveled up the Wex, oddly enough. On level 1.
He's going to hit it, so that's a decent bit of mana taken away from Noah. And of course, an excellent zoning tool can mess with Noah when he wants to really question if he commits for that early CS.
Yeah, the securing of the range creep by means of making him run away from it. It's a new one.
And then on these side lanes, I mean, last game, your read was pretty good with how good of a game Nightfall was going to be able to have on the Ursa. This time around for him on the carry Lifestealer, are we seeing sort of a similar situation as game 1 where Nightfall was able to take over with the Lifestealer?
Yeah, Ursa usually uses his defensive mechanism as a response to damage, while Lifestealer pops rage preemptively, which I think operates a lot better against the VP hero, or against the Gambit heroes, as we do see this IO Tusk lane getting early kills again.
Yeah, first game.
That way every game.
I mean, yeah, the setup seems to be a little too much. It's always save, you know, bless him. He's always been the one to die a few times in the laning stage. Of course, it doesn't really matter too much. Sure, they did lose the second game, but saving in all the efforts we've seen so far, having some great plays around that mid game with the initiations. He can get going as a Lion. And the early game, sometimes a little rough there with the deaths here and there.
And every time I die as support, free TP, man. I tanked it for my carry or my core, and I got to come back to lane for free.
That's true. A little bit of time as well for DM to get in some solo XP.
Exactly.
And we'll see if we obviously last time round in the first game at least stream was getting some action, but he wasn't necessarily getting the farm. This time around seems to be getting both. No struggle so far for him in the safe lane. Of course, top lane, likewise in game 1, Nightfall is having complete farm. I mean, is there likely to be much pressure at all on him in this top lane, or is this just going to continue where the Lifestealer can't really be touched in the laning stage?
Yeah, so last game, the Ursa, the Shadow Shaman plus Axe combo was enough to make it so he had to worry about the +1 rotation, the Gyrocopter TPing in with the ultimate at the ready. But Lifestealer, he just doesn't care about any of this stuff. So I think he'll be able to occupy the lane much longer, which will slow down Afterlife, which we saw. He accelerated himself a lot with that creep cutting into the creep camps. I don't think that's going to work this time around against the Maledict plus the Faith Boots from the Lifestealer. Get out pretty early.
We'll see mid lane matchup. GPK indeed able to get a bit of an edge, and as we're seeing now with the Cold Snap and the EMP, making it very hard for no one to fight back, as no one he's got one more spell in him and a few seconds with the mana that he has left available, but other than that, completely out of regen to get himself into fighting shape. So GPK having a much better handle of the mid gyro in comparison to what he could do in game 2.
I really do feel, I said disrespect during the draft. They just said, we're going to throw exactly back at you what happened last game, but you get to pick different heroes in case you want to know what went wrong for you. As we see the engagement bottom and save, gets another free TP scroll.
And it does indeed. I'll let you know that was the plan. We'll see DM try for Immersion. Just enough burst heal to keep him alive and out to the side. We are seeing a similar situation to the first game, though, with Dream. They are getting the kills, but not able to really freely farm down here. Still struggling to CS against DM's Timbersaw. So it will be a bit of a slow start for him on the farm, as the free farm will indeed continue for Nightfall up top.
Yeah, this is pretty much the Dream Lifestealer game. The only instant disables Rubik, which just isn't nearly as scary as the Shadow Shaman from last game. The Axe call, let's just bank on the fact that he's going to be quick on the finger. You should be able to respond to that, even if you don't see him coming originally.
And what did you think sort of the build-up of Nightfall in game 1? Like, are you getting this Maelstrom most of the time, or is Armlet still the way to go? As we saw in the first game, he goes for that Maelstrom build, no Armlet on the build-up. Yeah,
I'm really curious about that. Everyone I've seen has gone for the Armlet, but the Maelstrom Sange, that was like the year-and-a-half ago build on Lifestealer. It feels really nice. It accelerates your farm a lot, and the Sange amp healing goes quite well with the Feast. So it's like a build if you feel like you can get away with it. It's kind of like the greedier version. It's Lifestealer's Battle Fury equivalent.
Sure.
It does seem like he is going to go it again. He has the Maelstrom queued up.
I mean, worked for him the first game this series, so no real reason for him to deviate on that progression.
There's no super early threats. They need like the Axe Blink Dagger plus maybe a damage item on the gyro before he feels like he can't farm with impunity. And that's what the Maelstrom, if you're allowed to do that, is great for.
See, instant TP reaction there from Kingslayer and save as any sort of aggression starts getting utilized against GPK.
They got the lecture from game one when their teammates were getting dove underneath tier 1s and nothing was happening and then Kyle was flaming.
I'm sure, yeah, indeed. Kingslayer will make sure he's always got a TP ready this time round. It's top lane Nightfall. Slowly running down Afterlife. Yeah, able to get another touch and get that slow going again. Same time down in the river. But the move here being made over towards Save. Tornado from GPK comes out, gives Save a bit of time to turn things around. No one, he's trying to live, but he's got to fall. It will bring down Save, but no one dying before any sort of action was found. Immersion having to roam, will manage to grab a bounty on the way out. Losing the gyro here in the mid lane as this continues to be just a setup where he's not having the same sort of free start as he did in the second game. Definitely getting punished more this time around by VP.
It's a very similar story to game one where the cores of VP just naturally take over the lane they're in, right? Lifestealer will threaten the Axe while it doesn't work the other way around. Same with their Timbersaw against the IO. And you're seeing the Invoker Cold Snap plus Tornado be quite a deterrent to the aggression we saw from no one in game two. And it just is going to lead to a farm advantage at any point that no kills are happening. And even if kills do happen, they're going to eventually not pay for themselves unless you keep steamrolling them. And still, they're up 3-1. But I don't know how to describe it. I just don't like how this game feels for Gambit coming in the mid game. Like, I feel like VP's going to accelerate themselves much quicker.
Nightfall Javelin done. Halfway through on the Maelstrom, and I mean, if you know, for SM Gambit, they know exactly what's going to happen in terms of Nightfall's way that he wants to play this early game, get the Maelstrom and get the farming done. Do you have to look to try and punish that? Like, well, what do you do about this lifestealer? Or can you not really make plays into it at the moment?
Usually the punish is on the enemy mid. Usually you take out the fact that Lifestealer is not going to really participate in the game. We can't really do much to this guy. Let's pick on the mid as you see here. That's exactly what I would like to see. They're going to go on to GPK in the mid lane.
Straight aggression coming in. Save isn't in time. GPK, he's still alive, and with the support backup, they're going to be able to look to turn it as they bring down no one. GPK still living here as Immersion didn't have quite enough damage in the tank to take him down. As Immersion and no one will both get punished for that dive. So, as you say, you know, SM Gambit doing what you want to see. Problem is, VP, they do have the answer for that. They knew that was going to be what ASM Gambit pushed for. They've got a draft that succeeds in turning around those efforts.
So often on the analyst desk, we talk about how, like, it's more important that the team knows how to play around the hero than the individual knows how to play the hero. And that was a perfect example where VP knows that because they have a Lifestealer, their mid laner is going to get picked up a lot.
GPK is able to get the cold snap set up into the stun. They've caught Afterlife. There's even Nightfall able to swing across, get involved in a bit of XP and gold.
This is why Invoker's so good against Axe. Axe loves to play the enemy jungle. He loves to cut creep waves and play for that extra efficiency. You just can't do it against Invoker. Like, Invoker plus 1 or 2 heroes, in that case 3, is just always going to bring you down. And that really stunts the Axe's Blink Dagger timing, which is crucial to ever threatening this Lifestealer. Quickly, the net worth has shifted in favor of VP. And I was just going to say that they know, because Lifestealer is independent top, they're going to pick on GPK. You saw all of VP, the entirety, ready to help him mid. No hesitation. It's just really well played.
And we're seeing this from no one. I mean, this has never got to feel good, but would you agree it is necessary going for the treads? And he's queuing up immediately the BKB as his first item.
Against Invoker, yes. Sadly, Gyrocopter doesn't have any innate survivability. If he gets cold snap into Tornado, he's going to die to any sort of follow-up. So the BKB, an absolute necessity. Well, like you said, you are not excited to be rushing a BKB.
Dire are scanning.
Of course, still going to take him a bit of time to get it. We'll see VP now getting aggressive as they come over to the angle of ASM Gambit. And perhaps if they can get a setup on mid, GPK. Got enough control there for Immersion. Not quite. Will manage to burn the mana, but stick charges are ready, and it's enough for Immersion to get the shards out. They'll turn towards GPK. Call out coming in. GPK still with the tornado. Has the back for save. He's in the midst of it all. TM TP's over GPK. Will fall. They get the kill onto the Invoker. As ASM Gambit will manage to keep one another alive. They get the kill. They get out of there. This time, bringing in the full 5-man to get the job done. Make sure they have that damage, and VP are unable to protect GPK this time round.
Yeah, 3 wasn't enough last time. Time to bring in all the people. As I actually think VP might be able to turn that into a tower, because Rubik's still level 5. Gyro doesn't have his ultimate because he just used it, and even Tusk.
Radiant's middle
Supports
tower
are actually
is under
starved
attack.
on Gambit's side.
Radiant structures are
And they see this. VP feels like they are much stronger despite being slightly down in terms of net worth. IO's still working on that Axe Scepter. Dom is like a nice farming tool, but it doesn't really help you in fights.
Radiant's
Nobody on the
middle
side of
tower
Gambit
is
wants to
under
fight.
attack.
And VP recognizing that very well.
Is under attack.
Axe is getting his farm top, halfway to a Blink Dagger.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Quick objectives though. 2 tier 1s taken away already here, 11 minutes in.
And now Lion gets to farm top. This is the dream for a 4-position Lion. Farming underneath his tier 1 tower. They might look to dive him soon. I think they have to punish this. If you ever get to see a support just farming the most dangerous area on the map by himself, that cannot be allowed.
Yeah, they're straight up there. Dream's ready to back them up as well, as they'll look for an opportunity to dive in on save.
Well, save, you know, he TP'd here. He needs a free version to get back.
Oh, look at these TP backups coming in. They're not going to let save die today, as VP in immediately, taking down SoNNeikO. As the rest of SM Gambit, they've got to back off. VP is making sure that nothing is given away, even able to get the deny as well on the tower to take that away from Gambit.
Their early game movements, they are just reading it. They know exactly what they're going to be doing. And Lifestealer mirroring the movements of the rest of his team. Earlier he played top, but since his team has already taken bottom tier 1 and mid tier 1, they don't really have anything to play for on VP down there. So now he's going to occupy that area. And Lifestealer doesn't tend to participate very often early, but he's happy to get smoke yanked towards. And that's exactly what they're going to do here.
Finding a lovely little bonus there as he takes down the helm of the Dome Creep. That's 100 for him, and no one's been found. They've swept into the jungle, and he's been caught completely alone here.
Yeah, really clean movement. Surprised they let that work on the side of Gambit, because there were 5 creeps hitting the mid tier 1 for VP. So they have to assume VP was trying to do something, because nobody was farming those creeps. Lifestealer is just cutting creeps behind a tier 2.
And Nightfall's been able to choose wherever he wants to be so far, and they've not been able to punish him. We'll see them try to do so now. They're in with the smoke. Did they catch Nightfall by surprise? Is he ready for this one? He's heading away. Shard's actually off the mark here. Extra bit of a boost. He's away. They don't get the catch, and they really needed it there. ASM Gambit.
Yeah, if you guys are wondering when you're supposed to go Maelstrom or a farming item, when you get find behind tier 2s.
We're gonna have Afterlife. Come in with the blink reveal onto save, and we'll grant them the kill.
I think they still want to fight this on the side of VP.
SoNNeikO is going to get jumped here as they close the gap. And they're in with the rage. SoNNeikO's gone. Double kill for Kingslayer. Actually, he's the one to pick up the 2 kills here. It's 2 down on ASM Gambit. They've got to be careful. No one. Very, very cautious there as the cold snap comes out onto him. As he backs off. Still struggling to turn and get back into the action against VP right now.
Yeah, I just don't know. You see the net worth in favor of Gambit. I don't know if you want that net worth on an Axe. Like, he's not going to be the one that wins you the game. It's going to be this IO gyro combo. They are just not sitting pretty in comparison to the cores of VP.
GPK, he's found the setup onto the Axe. He's coming with a cold snap. EMP down, forcing them to split.
Is that a courier, or what did he dunk just now? I think he dunked a jungle creep in order to get out there. That was smart.
Wow, save his life. Afterlife bakes it out of there despite VP getting the jump from the high ground. Some nice stacks here for Dream. Agonim's about halfway done. versatile, having probably the slowest of the games here out of the two we've had so far from the carrier. VP being able to make this opening a little tougher for Dream this time round.
This will be their timing, absolutely. As I said, the Axe being the #1 net worth is a problem, but this IO now has taken that over because of those stacks. And once he hits that timing, if they get that one crucial kill on the Lifestealer, I think that's the biggest thing I'm going to emphasize, the one crucial kill. Because Lifestealer, the way he's farming aggressively on the map by himself all the time, once you kill him once, he's not able to do that anymore.
Now we'll see again, and indeed you're right, Afterlife, it was the last neutral from the small camp left living. And barely on any HP as well there. Very fortunate for to still be standing as he's able to get that boost to get out of the action. Back in the action though, SoNNeikO's been found.
Yeah, scouting out the bottom rune. Happened to run into 4 VP heroes there. I was just scouting the rune, guys. I got myself a free TP. Just giving you guys an inside look on the comms of Gambit there.
On the support life, yeah.
Yeah. He's actually queuing up a Midas on GPK. What that tells me is they plan to have the pace of the game slow down a little bit.
And when you look at the lineups, you just sort of feel that this Lifestealer will ultimately outcarry anything that ASM Gambit have as it goes on?
I don't necessarily know about that.
Okay.
If he's allowed to continuously free farm like he is, yes. But if they win that 1 or 2 crucial engagements on the side of Gambit, no. Because the map control of this lineup is pretty nutty. You have the pick-off potential of the Axe combined with the relocate of the IO. You have the physical damage boost of the Tusk, so you can get Roche very quickly if you do get 1 or 2 kills. You have to be very careful. If you're playing against IO, one lost fight can instantly turn the tides of the map control. As they are looking to actually force it here. The smoke.
TM's just charging straight in. There was some reaction he could get already onto the bit to get the jump on SoNNeikO. Afterlife's going to try and come with the counter. Comes in with the call. Dave's still able to get the finger off though, and that'll set up for VP to take down the both of them.
Did he get the finger damage?
I think he did. Yeah, I think that probably was the first one he got this game. 2 quick moves there, despite Afterlife's attempt to turn things around as he came in with the call. Not enough backup, as it were, to get anything more than just the Lion.
It just feels so bad to blink in this game as an Axe. I think Kyle was talking about how good Invoker is against the Axe. Not only can you make it difficult for him to blink with abilities like Cold Snap that poke him with that small instances of damage, but you have like the free Yule's counter. You know, everyone tries to buy 1 Yule Scepter against the Axe, so you lift him up in the air. You just have that built in with the Tornado. You can't go for the Blade Mail on Axe because it's not going to be reliably returning the damage against a Lifestealer with the Rage and the Tornado to break up the combo. So he's probably going to have to go for a BKB. He actually decides to finish the phase. I was a bit surprised if he was going to do that. He desperately needs a BKB this game. Just like no one who did go for the drums for the BKB. So he elected to delay that. I think it's kind of cost him a little bit though, just like that last death.
See GPK on the hunt. And they know it. Straight out.
When a Lifestealer's using Rage to look for you, he feels pretty safe.
He's going to have a full basher as well now. So gets on top of anyone Nightfall. They're going to really struggle to run away. The items is done on Dream, so his potential in the fight has now stepped up.
It's a nice neutral item for Lifestealer. He's got the Quicksilver Amulet, the move speed. You're talking about his ability to get it on top of these ranged cores. Sometimes those neutral items can just be exactly what you wish for.
For sure, yeah, the Quicksilver. I think it always just feels like a nice one on any of these Archie carries.
Now they got the Blink Dagger Lion. He's infested. What are they going to do with it? Where is he going?
Oh, so we saw the moves that they were able to do with this combo in game 1, and they were pretty deadly.
Hex on the ground. The second you see somebody, they'd get hexed. Going for the Scotty. I've been seeing this in Lifestealers in EU. They've been going for the Scotty as a Abyssal Blade substitution. Makes even more sense against heal heroes such as the IO.
No one. He has got a BKB. He's not going to get the chance to use it. The snake comes in, but he's already gone. As he goes down, they get the call off onto the two of them. Stave still able to get the stun out. The two of them sets it perfectly for Kingslayer to lay down the death ward. As that's 3 down. Dream's trying to run. He will manage to juke the tornado, but they're in with the cold snap. He's going to need a helping hand. Is there anybody to come over and help? There isn't. SoNNeikO's elsewhere. He can't get over here. Dream goes down. Triple kill for GPK as VP. They're just back on the level you'd expect from this squad. Just a little too quick for ASM Gambit to do anything about. No one getting caught, farming the small camp. And just holding on to the BKB, not finding an opportunity to pop it as he allows himself to get jumped, hexed, locked down permanently by Virtus.Pro.
You are not going to beat a team of VP's caliber the same thing twice in a row. I think they will allow you to do that. They're going to make the right adjustments, and you're seeing the impact that this Invoker has. He single-handedly carried this fight. Like, all the other heroes are the exact same.
Yeah, not
from last
GPK.
game, and yet the fights are going drastically different. I'm not saying everyone else on his team is not playing well. You're just seeing the spells of Invoker, the counter-initiation threat, as well as just the poke. Like Gyro, he has a BKB. He's brought down to half before he even wants to use it, and then suddenly he gets hexed and bursted.
Yeah.
That's exactly what makes it difficult for Gyro to play his game, similar to what we saw from the Ursa in Game 2 from VP. And Nightfall, he's just been living in his own little world. Independent, farming, the absolute dream for any carry hero. And now he's just connected to his team. And they just control the entire map at this point.
They're heading up towards the top, ASM Gambit. I don't know if they want to stick around and maybe hoping to try and get a jump on one hero. A VP are prepared for this sort of move. It's Immersion. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the others bail on him. Afterlife and no one, it's probably in their best interest to just leave this area.
That's actually a pretty big kill. He was 200 gold off of a blink.
And they still no one. Okay, no one's got. He's got the BKB and TP out.
That's his. Was that his 9-second BKB?
I think that was
so.
the first usage, right? It was. It was indeed.
Oof.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So weird to see a 9-second BKB be his first. As they immediately TP bottom, super fast rotation from VP, infested on the line, GPK scouting out, but seems like they're ready for this.
Yeah, TPs are coming in from ASM Gambit. GPK. Things up onto Dream. He's down. Oh, he was ready for that save. An instant hex onto Afterlife as Afterlife attempts to jump them. He was ready, now VP TM. Sunstrike, boom! GPK keeping it flashy here. As there's no escape for no one. Some very deserved tips there coming out from the squad over towards GPK. As
They know he's coming back.
They do.
They're just waiting for it.
His base ain't safe. And there's going to be 2 buybacks coming out. They're going to try their best to save Dream. Snowball from Immersion buys him some time, but the cast is out. Bouncing out between the two of them. VP will respect that. They'll back off for now. Taunt is there. They've caught GPK.
And they immediately need more. They know this is not good enough.
yeah.
They bought back 2 heroes for this.
See what more they can get out of it. TP outs. Already being done by VP. Kingslayer. He doesn't have a TP though. So he's got to run.
You know,
Radiant are scanning.
He may just start that process right here. And he
there
will.
it is right there.
There he is.
You guys ever don't have a TP, this is what you get. Honestly, it's kind of like some sick way to remind you that you were supposed to have a TP.
I mean, to his credit, his TP was still on cooldown. As he died, he got the new one, it had a couple of seconds on it. So, you know,
That man.
you got to call out these people with no TPs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Scardy down the drain. That's pretty big. That's got to hurt, right? I mean, it never feels good, regardless of how far ahead you are. If your items put on the sidelines for 3 minutes.
That's 5,000 of their net worth. Like, yeah, he still has one of the ultimate orbs. But, like, if you look at Lifesteal's net worth right now, it's effectively at 10,000.
That's a big hit. Nice courier snipe from ASM Gambit.
Now it's his first big item. He's got like 3 half items. He's got a Maelstrom, a Sange, and a Basher.
And they got
really
DD.
was his first big item. Going for the butterfly on Gyro.
Saving up for their own, but Afterlife then jumping in the corner of the 2 of them. Immersion goes straight away over all save. They bring him down. No one's in with the BKB and the DDs. Bring them down low. TM straight away. And they're chasing him down here. No one is able to find him. Takes down another. But Nightfall, he's still in a pretty healthy position. A lot of HP amount of the work with Bash comes out first hit. onto SoNNeikO.
Who needs Abyssal? You can just first hit bash.
Dream.
Oh, not again.
He's going to be on his way back over. Is he going to have anything to tether to? Paladin down. Dream. He's going to get caught there by the cold snap. No chance to jump back to safety as VP continue to come out on top of the fight. Just still a little bit too much for them to deal with. Even in a situation where no one, he had the DD. Fortunately for himself, getting the courier out of there, nearly gets taken down, and that did have his eagle somewhat. The game continuing to get harder and harder for ASM Gambit. Down 26-10, 11k lead for VP.
Which one is he going to finish? Is he going to finish the Mjolnir? Is he going to finish the SoNNeikO? Or is he going to finish the Abyssal?
SMY, final answer.
I agree with that. I agree. This is, for me, the most sensible part of this game. Because I believe no one is in no man's land down here.
He's got the BKB TP, and that will get him out. BKB, TP, he's good. He's golden.
The wave too, not so bad. Forge Spirit boot. Trade a BKB charge for 400 gold.
Absolutely, I think absolutely. I think a long duration BKB is overrated.
I mean, he's already down to 6. So
yeah, for sure. Then.
Now it's like it's like the reverse of diminishing return. It's got like freebie.
And in all honesty, the cooldown of a BKB, I know 75, it sounds like a long time, but in these games, you know, when the stakes are high,
fun.
The amount of times that you sort of watch games and another fight happens when a core still has a BKB on cooldown seems to, you know, that doesn't happen that much, you know what I mean? Most of the time, teams are good at setting things up to buy time for the cores to get their BKB back up. The breaks between sort of the skirmishes.
Yeah, Roche, I think, is the only way they really could have punished that, and it's not up yet, as he's going for an MKB on the life sword. I don't mind that, so he's not completing any of his half items.
Yeah, needs it. Butterfly's up, or soon to be up on no one. Yeah, he's still a halberd away, but it will be there, and you would imagine that indeed a halberd is going to be on the down the line coming out for Dream once again. The same build that he's been going for. Needing that chance to punch for it. It's going to ASM Gambit definitely being much more cautious now. Not seeing them getting caught out too much, no one's staying safe, and now they'll try and move out as a unit.
I'm pretty sure Axe has gained 2,000 net worth.
It has been a slow game for him, you're right.
He had those exact items like 16, 18.
There we have it. Ooh, Loris will give them the chance to turn things around with a snowball over the side. No one commits him to the BKB, but the Cataclysm comes crashing down. Save will fall. Buyback straight away from Dream. No one. Paladin's on him. Chaos Meteor coming down as well. He's charging out towards Nightfall. They've got the chain stop, but the only missed up. But do they have the damage? Punch up onto Nightfall. Can they kill him off? They can. They bring down Nightfall, but DM cuts across with the timber chain, grabs the triple kill, turns towards Immersion as it's the third hero dead on ASM Gambit. SoNNeikO also to fall as GPK takes him out. Gem hits the floor.
I was wondering why that right click did so much damage on GPK, but he has the enchanted clip. Answered my question. As Lifestealer, he's just he's like the distraction carry. The real carry is in the back lines, the Invoker. The nice thing about this Lifestealer Invoker combo this game is that Lifestealer is enough of a threat that you can't afford to ignore him. But he's tanky enough that if you try to commit to kill him, Invoker is going to clean you up afterwards. So just a hard game, really, for Gambit to execute in these fights, as DR did have to buy back there.
I did that. I believe there are two buybacks in fact being used. Yeah, both Dream and Immersion in that last fight. So an expensive attempt from ASM Gambit to save the situation.
Radiant's bottom tower
Roche
is under
up.
attack.
That's going to be very hard for ASM Gambit to contest. Going for the heart next, Dream. Continue to just tank up and try and get himself into a state where he won't quite have the burst.
Playing against Blink, Aetherlens, Lion is just so hard, as any hero in the game will know. So much lockdown, such long range. Oh, he's even got the 70 max. max health per finger of death kill.
How many stacks has he got?
He's at 3.
Got 3? It adds up very nicely. It's a big number, plus 70.
Wait. I think he gets health from it. Is that how that...
What are you on about?
Yeah.
Brian, that's literally what it says. What are you asking?
I was so confused. Is that a new talent?
Yeah, it is a new talent. It's a 7.29. Yeah, not only are you stacking up damage, dude, you're getting plus 70 health with each stack of the finger.
Dude, that's OP.
Yeah. You're going to get some tanky boy lions. It's already 210 extra HP. That's a considerable amount.
I'm going into an unranked party queue game, and I'm playing
mid-line.
I'm going to have like 7,000 HP.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
That's my goal.
Mid-line is on the table.
Gotta do the Ana camp fountain for like 30 minutes as I get infinite health. I feel like Lion scales better in health than Pudge.
It's crazy. Yeah, with that amount of... He absolutely does. I do hope we'll see one of these games at core line.
Or just a late enough game where the Lion has like 2 finger kills. He has really no items with 5,000 HP. That's what I'd be down.
Well, we'll definitely get that. I mean, with the frequency of Lion picks, I mean, this hero very much, we're seeing it every game, VP getting it for save, valuing the Lion as a hero very highly, and completely understandable why. I mean, we saw last patch the strength of these good players with the hexes, and sure, some sort of cast range has been taken out of the game here and there, but ultimately the concept still is as strong as ever, having such a solid instant initiation that heroes like Lion and Shaman can offer. And there we have it. Again, the judge there to do it, the capture play of Immersion coming in with a snowball. Gives no one the chance to put the BKB, but Nightfall's on top of the gyro. No one goes down. He's out of the game for 75 seconds. No buyback. Over towards Dream they head. He'll pop the BKB. And they'll be able to run him down. Dream, has he got any way of getting out of this? He's got a tether in a second. He's back over towards the fountain. Dream will manage to keep himself alive, but Afterlife taken down by Save. They're even thinking about doing the fountain diving here. Nightfall, he's in. He's able to get the kill, get out. Afterlife will buy back. He's able to get the grab and the call onto GPK. They'll get punished for the fountain dive here as GPK will go down.
In-game a gym. Here you go, guys. Right in front of the base. Special delivery.
It is all down to SoNNeikO and Afterlife though to stop this. There's VP still with the 4 members alive. There's no trouble of taking down the mid-racks up towards the top. Immersion back in 5 seconds. But of course, Nightfall still with the Aegis for 2 minutes.
Timbershaw's shard was already good enough, and they just gave it building damage.
I mean, DM, he would have had a huge smile reading the patch notes. He was one of the Timber Stores that was always buying the shard anyway in the previous patch. Usually gets him rather early as well. And now just an extra reason to do so.
Radiant's top barracks.
So we have a 2 sets of racks, 25k lead. It's getting to that territory of a game where chances for this to be any sort of a comeback, it's going to lie on no one maybe getting a rapier. It's a long way away from that. Still doesn't quite have the butterfly. Imagine he must have the evasion, talisman of evasion on the courier. It's dead for 20 seconds. Otherwise, I don't know where his goal is. We'll see in a second when that respawns. Yeah, but his game has been slowed down considerably.
The Lifestealer did have the Sanj and Yasha queued up, but he actually is going for the Abyssal Blade.
All right.
So we were both wrong.
We were indeed.
I'm telling you, that item feels so bad. Abyssal Blade. We all got spoiled as players for so long.
Yeah, but I mean, it was so... it was ridiculous. Why did it ever have a blink component without a blink component in the builder, you know?
Yeah.
I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did in Dota 2. Abyssal Blade previous patch was insane. Like, it's a through BKB lockdown. Why does it need the ability to close the gap? Every one of those things that I think was absolutely needed.
You don't need a why. It just needs to be that way.
Carries there, but for sure still going to build it. And that nerf, sure, as you said, you're going to miss it, but it's still going to be a necessity in a lot of builds for that hard-hitting lockdown.
This is the difference between last game.
This Nightfall goes on to no one. He's going to need some save here. Afterlife's going to jump in with a call. Cataclysm coming down. The cast bounces back over Afterlife. Afterlife goes down. Immersion will fall. 2 dead. As Nightfall will continue to push on. ASM Gambit, can they do anything between the 3 of them? Trying their best to push back. Lifestealer do that stolen deafening blast from SoNNeikO. Nightfall rages back up. Move on to Dream. Save's coming in, but Dream will manage to put the BKB tether off to the side. He'll live. Nightfall jumps into DM, they jump back out. No one's not got a BKB ready to pop again. He's down for over a minute as they're ready to start diving towards their base. In they go, on to Dream. GG, it is called. In fact, a question mark being dropped there by Nightfall. I'll be honest, not as good as the original question mark. I feel, you know, he's trying to be a bit of a poser here. But there we go. VP, they will get the win. And the series, it is theirs as game 3. Very much looking like the VP that we are expecting to see here in the league. They were dominant last season.